Jack and I are about to meet with Kathy and Greg, who are volunteers here at the prison, but they are also paranormal investigators. Hello.
Hi, I'm
nice to meet
Kathy.
you. They've investigated this place many times, and they also know a lot of the history.
Welcome to the historic Ohio State Reformatory.
Thank you.
It did start out as a reformatory back in the late 1800s for young, nonviolent offenders. There could be kids here 13, 14 years old, all the way up to, the 30s. You see the design of the building, it looks like a castle. The architect wanted to put this sense of dread into these young offenders. When they're coming down the drive, they were like, holy, what did I do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be spending my time here.
And so then we see it turning over into violent offenders at some point. When did that happen?
Slowly, in the 60s, and by the 70s, it was total maximum security prison. And the conditions here were bad.
At its height, how many people were kept here?
Like 3,000. Wow. And it was only built for 1,000 inmates. The inmates filed a petition with the state saying that this was cruel and inhuman punishment because they basically spent 23 hours a day in their cells. So they won their lawsuit, and then the state built new prisons. So we're going to take you to different hot spots inside the prison.
All right, lead the way.
This was the living quarters for the superintendent and his family. There was a tragic event here that occurred in 1950. There was a woman by the name of Helen Gladkey. She was in that closet right there. It was Sunday morning, she was getting ready for church. She was reaching for a box, and her husband's handgun was on top of the box. It fell, discharged, and struck her in the lung. She died a few days later at a local hospital, but Helen is still here.
How do you know she's here?
She had this rose-scented perfume that she used to make. And as you're walking anywhere on the second floor, you'll smell rose water.
That's so weird. I literally came up and I was like, oh, who's doused themselves in perfume?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I just figured it was someone I was walking behind.
That was our very first paranormal experience here, was smelling the roses.
On the second floor
Really?
here.
Second floor.
I'm being
yeah.
like deadly honest. Prisons like freak me out because like of anywhere we go to, I'm like, no, there was legitimately bad people here, and there's actual documentation of death. It just adds an element of like seriousness.
Jack and I are gonna go meet with Mike Humphrey, who's a former inmate here in the East Cell Block.
This is number 4.
This was yours.
I spent 12 months in this cell. I came here in 1969, and I was released in September of 1970.
Is this one of the most haunted areas of the building?
Yes, and I seem to have a little bit of an attraction.
Do you think it's because you're a former inmate?
I'm only assuming that maybe they see me as one of them.
What other paranormal experiences have you had?
2000, my son was with me, and we were standing on the steps getting ready to go down into the central guard room, and a lady come walking out of the room down at the end of the hall. She had a full green ball gown on. She had her hair up, looked like she was from the turn of the century. And I just said to her, I said, ma'am, I said, are you lost? And she turned to the right, and she took one step, and she totally vanished.
Wow, so she looked solid and human.
Oh, she was.
Why do you think this place is so haunted?
We have 278 confirmed deaths here. So if you're wondering if maybe a couple of them are still here, absolutely.
So we've kind of narrowed it down to 4 general locations. The Eastern Block, where I'm at right now. Cool. The warden's living quarters. Yeah, that's good. The West Attic and the basement. Those 2 locations have never been investigated on film before. Ahoy there.
All set up?
Yeah, we are all good to go. Cameras are in position. Living quarters, guest room area, and the worst basement I've ever seen.
Yes.
So maybe we start in the living quarters.
Yeah.
It's like the first place they took us, and they said they've been having a huge uptick in activity there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do it. Do you hear someone?
Is there anyone upstairs? No. Show us something up here. It sounded like a clicking. Like someone like setting something down or... See, this feels weirder up in here.
Just it's a uncomfortable feeling on the 3rd floor, huh?
Yeah.
The 3rd floor, I don't like it.
It has a completely different feel up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What?
Did you breathe out?
No?
You didn't go like, oh.
No.
That was really loud. I would say we can try a ghost box session where Helen was fatally injured. Okay, Helen, if you're still here, they say that you still haunt these hallways. If you're still here, we'd love to chat with you. Hi, I'm Katrina. Can you tell me your name?
Helen.
You heard Helen?
I heard Helen. Helen, are you the woman in the green?
Did you just hear that?
Heard that.
Did you die here?
So there's something negative up here. Sounded like a yes. Do you know Greg and Kathy?
What'd you hear?
It was a rumbling that came from upstairs.
Rumble in the jungle?
A rumble, yeah.